Week 6 Fantasy Football Waiver Wire Edition. Back with this week's pickups to help you win your fantasy matchups. These are guys, typically I like to stay around the 50% owned mark. We're going to start off with guys a little over 50, but these are guys we mentioned last week. Mark Ingram, running back, New Orleans Saints, 60% owned. Expected to be back after this week, the Saints bye week. A guy you want to pick up, especially if you've been riding Kyrie Robinson or if you've actually held on to Pierre Thomas this long. Go get Ingram now. He was a running back 1 for the first couple weeks of the season. Definitely worth a roster spot. No Sean Moreno, another guy above the 50% line at 59% owned in Yahoo leagues. Again, if you own Lamar Miller, pick up Moreno just as insurance. Another guy we mentioned, Brian Quick. He's now up to 55% owned after his 87-yard, 2-touchdown performance against the Eagles. Kind of did it in garbage time, but still, you'll take those points in fantasy all day, every day. I'm going to hit on 2 wide receivers for you here in the less than 50% owned category. The first one is Justin Hunter, Tennessee Titans, coming in at 46% owned. The guy had a big day, finally, a preseason sleeper for me. He's a guy that I would roster, but I'd be scared to start him. Bye week injury, if you absolutely need a fill-in, this is a good guy for that. He's a high-risk, high-reward kind of wide receiver. Think of him along the lines of a Torrey Smith, Deshaun Jackson. There's going to be weeks where you start him, and he's going to get you 2 catches, 25 yards, and there's going to be weeks like last week, 99 yards and a touchdown. High risk, high reward. Another guy I told you about last week, 40% owned, Andrew Hawkins. Don't be scared by his 3 for 27 stat line last week. Touchdowns are going to come. He still got 9 targets last week. This guy is a 10-plus a week target guy. The touchdowns will come. Now we're going to get into the injury woes. You had guys on your roster, they got hurt. Andre Williams, New York Giants, 29% owned. Rashad Jennings went down this past week. He's expected to be out the next 3 weeks. The Giants play the Eagles and then the Cowboys, and then they have the bye week. Don't expect Jennings to be back before that bye week. Brandon Oliver, San Diego Superchargers, coming in at 17% owned. Charger running backs are dropping like flies. First Ryan Matthews, then Danny Woodhead. Now Donald Brown ends up with a concussion this week. Not sure if Brown is going to play this Sunday, but Oliver wowed the fantasy world. He looked like Darren Sproles out there, number 43, but it wasn't Darren Sproles. It was Oliver. 19 carries, 114 yards, a touchdown. This guy runs with power. He runs with a purpose. Ryan Williams is 71% owned. If you're adding Oliver and Matthews is available in your league, I would add Matthews as well. Oliver is going to get touches even when Matthews comes back, but for the minimum the next 2 weeks, he's the man to add, as Donald Brown, even before the concussion, did not look spectacular. Monty Hillman, Denver Broncos, 11% owned. Monty Ball, with the groin injury, expected, as of right now, to miss multiple weeks. By virtue of being an average running back in a great situation, he seems like a solid add. At least while Ball's out, he's definitely worth an add. Last pickup, it's a kicker. Very rarely are you going to hear me talk about a kicker. Lions signed former Broncos kicker Matt Prater. Only owned in 22% of leagues. The Lions offense is going to put up points, and Matt Prater is a heck of a kicker. Don't forget to check back with last week's Week 5 waiver wire pickup video, and even go back to Week 4 to get a long list of players that you should be adding if you haven't already. For next week's video, I'll give you more waiver wire pickups. Thursday, Mason and I will be back with our Week 6 prediction video to give you all the winners and losers around the NFL. Like this video, subscribe, hit me up in the comments. Thank you for watching.